Hello, everybody. We are the Dundies. If you guys don't know who we are, we make a show based on Tekken on YouTube. We play other games too. We stream. We make shows and stuff. And we're based in Colorado. We also attend, our locals here and there. We also commentate Tekken. We have gone to Evo, and we are involved in the FGC. We decided to, for those of you guys who don't know what's going on, we should probably catch you guys up. There's a lot of the Smash scene and the FGC,
Streamers.
yeah, and streamers and like
gaming community, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. The gaming community in general.
What's going on?
There's a lot of stuff going on, yeah. We're talking like sexual harassment, sexual abuse,
manipulation,
minors,
and
the whole shebang.
The whole shebang, yeah. And it sucks that it had to happen to like the minors and women and
just everyone, really.
Everyone in general,
being taken advantage of. It's pretty stuff.
For specific examples, in the Smash scene, there's popular commentators like Senpai, who was involved with a minor. She was 24 years old, and that minor was 14 years old. His name is Pape. D1 was accused of sexually assaulting somebody when they were both couldn't consent. Mr. Wizard from the FGC, he owns Evo. He was involved with minors too and pedophilia, and let's see. There's also this is not just the FGC either. This is not just like Smash or FGC. There are also like Fedmeister, a big Twitch streamer. He was left the house because of sexual harassment and I believe assault.
And then there's this guy Josh from Method in World of Warcraft. That was a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
because that happened like a couple of years ago, and Method like covered it up kind of, and now it kind of like blew up again. So yeah, that was a big one.
So basically, a lot of the like the whole gaming community is under fire for a lot of activities that shouldn't have happened, right? And we thought that it should be under everybody should be involved, right? It shouldn't just be big names speaking out and saying, hey, this is not okay, right? And whatever, and just saying like, yeah, this shouldn't happen, and everyone's like they're going kind of crazy. I feel like this is everybody's responsibility. That's even anywhere involved in gaming, right? Because the whole point of people playing games with each other and creating literal communities around these games, whether it's Warcraft, whether it's the FGC, whether it's Smash, you can't have fun if you don't feel
safe.
Exactly, if you don't feel safe or comfortable, right? And I guess we wanted to talk about how it's not enough to just stay on the fence or stay neutral about any of this, and I think it's in everybody's responsibility to speak up and protect minors, protect women, protect anybody who is feeling uncomfortable or being harassed in what we're supposedly safe spaces, right? And the thing that really sucks is that these figures that are coming out are people who a lot of people have kind of like trusted and like looked up to, you know what I mean? And I guess that's why everybody feels devastated about all of this, right? It's even us as small as of a channel as we are, we all decided that it's important for even us to speak out and to make our own promises to the community that we're involved with, to speak up and protect anytime any of this is happening, right?
Oh, the point I brought up was like, so, gaming, the gaming industry, all this stuff, it's still fairly new. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, or not new, but it's still very young. And so, gaming was mainly seen as like a young person thing. Kids did it, teenagers, whatever, right? And now that we're coming into like a new generation, and we're coming, or as time passes on, there's going to be people who are in their 30s and 40s, who love video games. It's going to be more common than it was back then, for sure. So now you have adults mixed in with children, you know what I mean? So there's going to be people who are passionate about games, who are like in their 40s, in their 30s, are bound to, like, if they go to locals and all these things, they're going to interact with people who are minors, who are young, who are underage, you know what I mean? So it's their responsibility and duty to, create a safe space, be responsible, and, act as people who can have guidance, people can show guidance and can, take care of the next generation, instead of exploiting it, or instead of manipulating it, or, just like, it's not hard to be a decent person. It's not hard to be like, you're a fucking child, you know what I mean? And, in one of the videos, like what TK Breezy, was saying, which I thought was like really good, is that, he's like 30 years old. He goes to Smash tournaments, whatever. And, he'll interact, say what's up to like people who are younger, who are like teenagers, but he doesn't really have like any intention of, being really close or being friends with these people. He's like, I have my own life. I have people around my own age that I'm hanging out with. And I get it, like maybe like gaming's your life, and the people you meet are a little younger, but it's just like, you should just know better than to like, like they're fucking children, man. Like, you should just know better. There's no excuse for you to even act a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, just because, gaming is seen as a youthful activity, you like, just, be aware of your age, be aware of your situation, be aware of your space, and, just know better, be responsible, be an adult about this, instead of, just fucking letting some bullshit excuse like temptation or being drunk, like, get the better of you. Like, there's no excuse for that. I don't care if you're intoxicated. I don't care if, it was in the moment or whatever. Like, if you're at if you're at a party,
you're grown.
If you're at a party and there's like a fucking minor, you got to be responsible. You got to hold everyone at that party. If there's a minor there, which there shouldn't be, like, at that point, because we know there's going to be kids who sneak into parties, or people come uninvited, whatever, but like, hold each other accountable. You don't let that shit slide. And
at
like,
this rate, yeah, realistically, we're not saying anything new. We're not saying anything groundbreaking. Everything that we're saying here has totally been said before. What we're really trying to come forward and say is, with our growing platform, we're also just trying to speak out for marginalized voices who are typically very quiet and don't have the platform themselves to do this. So we are trying to come forward and be, in a sense, like the necessary force to be like, hey, like, we're going to be the ones to hold other people accountable, and we're going to also hold not only ourselves but the people in our community that we surround ourselves with equally accountable, whether that's our local FGC, the people in our very own small community, no matter how small that is, and informing them. It's like, hey, it's not enough to be on the fence about this. You yourself need to be being more active. Like, if your friend's being a shithead, tell them to stop. Like, this is just more of a call to action. Like, this is us telling you guys that what we are gonna do forward from here on out, whether it's going to, when we go to our locals, whether we go to the larger events such as Evo, doing our best to make sure that it's a safe space for everyone involved, like as physically as we possibly can in that moment. And we can only hope that us doing this can also hopefully bring out the best in others in order for them to do it as well. Like, again, we're not saying anything profound. We're not saying anything groundbreaking here. The fact that we have to sit here and remind you not to touch other people is fucking insane, right? The idea is we're now here to tell you, hey, you will actually no longer be allowed to do that. We will not tolerate it in any way, shape, or form. Like
Exactly.
that is essentially what we're coming forward to say.
And then as well, if you like see something happening and you're not like comfortable, like you don't like confrontation or anything like that, just like go find someone who actually is confrontational and let them know that something's happening, so that even if you feel uncomfortable doing it, someone else will.
Yeah, like, and that's what we're here for. Like, we are that platform.
Kind of like putting a face to the driving force.
Exactly. We want to be a platform for marginalized groups. Like, we are not, it's like us ourselves, we're all straight cis men. Like, we don't give a shit. This stuff doesn't affect us. Like, I don't have to go outside and worry about getting touched, to be 100% honest. Like, that thought has never once crossed my fucking mind. However, the fact that there are people in the community that are afraid to go to these events and like they legit fear for like that kind of shit on a regular basis, like that's not okay. Like, that's never okay. We need to be better. Everybody needs to start being better. Like, that's all it is. And we're going to start doing that. We will be the platform. I mean, we will not be the platform for marginalized voices, but I hope to be a platform to
one of the many platforms.
Yes, one of the one of the many platforms to hopefully assist marginalized voices in the community that are affected by sexual abuse, sexual harassment. That this is not okay. We will be tolerated, and we are holding as people as accountable as possible, and that is our goal.
Paul, can you repeat that just the last bit that you said? Because I think you roboted out was it just me or was it all of us?
No, it was
yeah, okay. Paul roboted for me too.
Yeah, just repeat the last part and then I'll cut it in. If
I don't remember what I said.
the magic's gone. The heat's gone.
Yeah.
Like all the heat flushed out of my face.
It's okay.
Just keep it in, maybe. It was, you could kind of understand it a little.
Yeah.
The fact that like we don't have to think about, like
we don't even experience it most of the time.
We've never experienced it, so we don't have to ever think about that stuff. And and we have to use that ability to be like, hey, motherfuckers, everybody else get your shit in check. Like, and for the people who are on the fence about this, that's not okay anymore. Like, this is no longer like I am allowed to be neutral. You can no longer be neutral. Like we're past that. We now have to be active in our communities if we want people to feel safe. And especially, people are constantly sitting here like, as gamers, we are constantly oppressed. Like, A, shut up. Like, mainly just shut up. But B, like, if you wish to stop that from happening, be better. Like, half the shit that happens to people that, like the gaming community is this, the gaming community is that. It's because not only just because there are the bad people in the community. Like, I'm not saying that every person in the gaming community is a fucking rapist or pedophile, et cetera, et cetera. That's not what we're trying to come forward and say. It's just that the fact that we allow that to happen equally puts a bad light on everybody. And beyond that, it should just be the fact that we should be creating and fostering a community that really allows for this friendly kind of how do I put it, like a community. That's it, really. Like, we want to foster a community, and in order to do that, everybody involved needs to be able to feel safe and
do their part. And
and in order to do that, everybody needs to do their part, and that includes being able to call out what may potentially even be your friends.
And remember, I personally believe that just because there are many people coming out about this doesn't mean that a majority of the community is bad, right? It's a smaller portion of the community that is actually evil. The most of the community is actually amazing, right? They're great, and a lot of FGC members, Smash members, gamers, they make their friends through playing games with each other, right? And this may seem like it's a bad thing, is that so many people are coming out, but this is actually a step in the right direction, right? To flush out everybody and to right now to begin the step right now to not tolerate it anymore and to strive for a safer community. This is the right step in the right direction. If you choose to do it now, if you choose to do it a year from now, if you step forward and also speak out, then you're doing your part too.
I feel like a lot of it gets like not exactly like pushed under the rug, but like a lot of the victims get kind of scared to like speak about it, which shouldn't be a thing, which is why sometimes when the momentum gets rolling, like big figures come out and they get blamed for some of the things, then like the smaller stuff keeps rolling because people feel a bit more safe to talk about it.
This is great. Yeah, this is actually amazing that so many people are feeling.
So that's why it kind of like seems like worse than it is, because like so many people are like coming out because they feel a bit safer now that there's like a space for them to like talk about it. So
yeah, what you can do as a member of the community always is to first listen to the victims, right? You have to always listen to the victims and be able to empathize and sympathize with their story, right? Not to doubt, right? Because that's what mainly hurts the victims. I know there's always false allegations, but that's you know.
Yeah, we shouldn't go on a witch hunt for every blame.
Right, but the first thing that you can always do is listen to the people, right? And the second thing that I always want to encourage people to do through this video is to always speak up for them, right? Is to speak up for them and to always put it out there that you are willing to listen and you will always protect them or speak up or tell somebody that something is being uncomfortable if you see it, right? Obviously, we're not going to be able to stop everything, but this is, I believe, the right step in making and maintaining a safe space for gaming, FGC, Smash community, for esports, for anywhere in general. Yeah. If you guys have anything else you guys want to say or add?
No, I mean that's it. Like, I mean,
yeah, I think I got a lot of my points out.
Just do your part, and guide people, create safe space for everybody. Because I think video games should be for everybody. Everybody should be feel safe. Everybody should have fun playing these video games, no matter where or when.
The only time people should get touched is in the video game where we're fucking getting bodied. Like, that's it.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
To recap though.
Friendly fist bump on the way.
Friendly fist bump.
What up?
To recap though, us as the Dundies, our promise to our community, to our local Colorado community, to FGC, to any event that we go to anywhere that we go, if we see any uncomfortable behavior or anything strange, we will always speak up about it, right? At least question it and say, hey, what's all this? And we promise to at least speak up and protect and listen to anybody who's being harassed at the event or anything. And we promise to speak up about it. And I hope that other people also come out and show their support for their own community, because this is this is our community, this is their community, this is all of our communities, right? I guess I kind of want to close it with like something that like Leffen said that in his video where he was like speaking about it to kind of like close what we're saying, and I guess it resonates very well with what we think. Is he says the thing that allows evil to basically like thrive and win is for the good people to do nothing, right? And I hope you guys like think about what that actually means, right? I think that's what made me think a lot about this, making this video and speaking up about it. We hope that all of you guys, streamers, content creators, just local like players, top players, all feel the same need to speak up about it and protect our community.
So do your best out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Cool.
for
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to it. Or yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
watching.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for coming.